グイヤさん、僕、すごい大ファンなんで、今回インタビューできてすごい光栄です。ありがとうございます。
Oh, Takea, thank you very, very much, man. I'm an even bigger fan of you. I've watched many of your fights in on TV and then in person. I got to see you fight Miguel Torres in Chicago.
おーあれ、あの時、僕、シカゴで、なんかグイダさんのジムに一回行ったことがあるんですよね。なんかその時 T シャツもらって、ずっと着てました。
Oh man, that is super, super cool. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, you put on one of the best fights ever. And I think it was maybe a short notice fight against Miguel Torres too. And I brought my parents, my mom and dad, and a couple of my buddies and my coach, and we were front row watching you fight at the United, excuse me, the UIC Pavilion, the
Yes,
University
yes.
of Illinois Chicago. Really, really cool venue. And you guys had one of the greatest fights of all time.
Thank you very much.
Sure. I'm glad you like the shirt. I hope it still fits.
僕も、グイダさんの試合でお気に入りの試合がたくさんあって、ゴミ選手との試合も好きだし、あとペティスに勝った試合もそうだし、最近だとレオ・サントスとやった時の試合はもう本当にめちゃめちゃ興奮したんですけど、僕の一番のお気に入りは、ネイト・ディアスをこう逆さまに持ち上げたあのシーンは、もう本当大好きですって。
Oh, thank you. Yeah, those were fun fights. I remember fighting Gomi, who is, obviously such a huge superstar in the sport. And I got to meet him because I fought in Shudo back in 2006 in, I believe,
Yeah.
August. Yeah, I fought a guy named, hold on,
Endo さん。
Yusuke Endo. Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
Yusuke Endo. Yeah, I took him down and he almost broke my arm and I tapped and he was awesome. He was undefeated, I think. I think he was like 10-0 or something. And I don't know if he continued to fight because he probably had another career, but it was an honor to fight in Shudo. And then I went back in the locker room and I saw two of my other favorite fighters. I saw Gomi and Kawajiri were in the locker room. So it was cool to see those guys, you know, and then be able to compete against them, years down the road. So those fights always meant a lot to me.
今ちょうどその2006年の話を出たんですけど、僕、あの大会出てたの知ってますか？
Oh, was he on the same event in
Yes.
2006? Okay,
Yes,
and now
yes.
that's right. And so who did you fight on that one?
僕、
Takea?
りょうた松根。
Awesome, man. That whole event, that was one of my even though I didn't get my hand raised, that was one of my favorite events to be at. It was my first time to Japan. First and only still I've ever been there. Got to go with my brother and Cole Miller, Charles McCarthy. So that was a really cool event for us. Super cool experience, and just the whole arena. And man, you were tiny back then. Were you fighting it at 125 or 135 then?
135。
135. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that was. And then who was one of the other guys? Was it the Killer Bee or Crazy Bee or something? Who was the he had the kind of the mohawk. I remember there was a couple of really, really good fights you guys put on that night. I can't quite remember his name, but he had a cool nickname, like either Cool Bee or Crazy Bee. But yeah, those super, super awesome event. And Shudo is just a legendary organization to compete for.
僕、初めてグイダさんに会ったのが、その時の計量の会場で、グイダさんがスケールに乗る前に逆立ちしてたんですよ。それがすごい覚えてて、あれは何かこう意味があったのかを今日ちょっと実は聞きたいなっていうふうに思ってるんですけど。
Yeah, because our scales were a little bit different. I was like a quarter pound overweight, so we thought if I walked on my hands that I might be able to float a pound or a half a pound off to make weight. It's an old wrestler's trick or an old wrestler's theory, and it worked. So yeah, that was just from something I learned back in high school and college wrestling.
そう。それで、なんか、そう、ちょっとすごい数百グラムがその逆立ちで、なんかカバーできた、パスできたのをすごいなんか、そんなことあるんだと思ってすごい衝撃を受けた記憶が僕は残ってます。
Yeah, at first I had to go outside in the streets and I had to do a bunch of sprints up and down through the alleys by the restaurants and the bars and stuff because I had to get a sweat going because I was like a half a pound over. So I was literally sprinting through town And then as we got closer, I just did the old handstand trick, and it worked.
いやもう最初からいろいろ聞けてすごく嬉しいですけど、ちょっと今回の試合のことも聞きたいですけど、今、もうすごいたくさんの試合をやってきて、ハードな試合をやってきてるんですけど、今回はコンディションはどうですか？結構大変な、コンディション作りだと思いますけど。
Yeah, you know what? Every fight that we have is it poses a different challenge, and that's why I love the sport of mixed martial arts. I love the sport of wrestling because obviously, like any sport, every team you face is different. Every opponent you have has different qualities and different strengths and weaknesses. So this is another tough test for us in that Joaquin Silva is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. We faced many really, really good Brazilian jiu-jitsu artists. We've done very well against them, and we haven't done so great against them. But we see that Joaquin Silva does a lot of striking as well. He's got heavy hands. So we're going to, be willing to stand in there and, stand toe-to-toe with him and, come out on the top on the feet too. But we're also going to use our wrestling and our jiu-jitsu as well. So this is definitely a great matchup for this card. And I'm glad that they were able to put this together on this ESPN card to kick off the month of December, because leading up to Christmas and New Year's, it's the end of the year, and we want to finish this season. We want to finish the year strong with a big victory.
今回もさっきもコーダも言いましたけど、アルファメールでトレーニングキャンプしてたんですか？
Yes. So I've been a Team Alpha Male now since 2015, and we had a really, really good camp out there for this event, and everything is great. My weight's on. That's why I get to eat barbecue tonight because I've only got 5 pounds to lose, and we're on weight. So yes, another awesome camp. Uriah Faber has done such a great job, with his gym, and all the trainers there. Coach Joey Rodriguez, my boxing coach. Coach Danny Castillo, who was a longtime UFC and WEC fighter, who you were probably on some of the same cards as, Takea. We have so many great teammates like Darren Elkins, Josh Emmett, Andre Feely. The list goes on and on and on over there. Song Yadong, who's got a big fight coming up next 2 weeks. So many tough, super highly skilled athletes on in our gym that I get to train with daily. So I'm super blessed and super thankful for that.
年齢のこと言うのはあれですけど、やっぱこの年齢になってそれだけのメンツとトレーニングしてやり合ってるっていうのはなんかすごくなんていうんですかね、ハードなことしてるなっていうふうに思うんですけど、UFC で戦い続けることもすごいハードだと思うんですけど、クレイグイダさんのこのなんかエネルギーみたいなのはどこから来てるんですかね？
Thank you so much, Takea. Yes, training with these youngsters, it keeps me young. It's that simple. I get to work out with some of the best smaller athletes in the UFC, in mixed martial arts, like Sage Northcutt, Cody Garbrandt, so many, just young, phenomenal athletes and fighters that I have to keep up with. So that keeps me young. I do great recovery when I'm done training. I do regular massages, I get chiropractic care. I do the cryo freeze chambers, cryotherapy. I do hot yoga. I do hot Pilates. So we definitely do a lot to take care of our body going on. I'll be 42 next week on December 8th. And you know what? Right now, I'm 41 and I feel like I'm 21. And maybe even better, way better. I'm in better shape now than I was 21. And we are much more experienced. And, I feel like we can continue to compete with this younger group of mixed martial arts and UFC fighters for a long time to come.
いや、もう本当に毎回僕は本当にもう自分は引退しちゃったんですけど、グイダさんの戦いを見ると、本当すごいなっていうの一言です。はい、尊敬してます。
Thank you very much, Takaya. Those are very kind words. And you know what? I'm going to keep on competing, for you guys, because I always had the best time watching some of your fights and just your energy in there and your tenacity and the fights that you put on just always amazed me. And your fights were always fight of the night. You always went out there. It doesn't matter who you fought. and you put on a great performance every time. And those were the memories that I have from your career, and that keeps me motivated to continue to do what I love as long as I can. And then when I'm done having fun, then I'll go fishing.
ありがとうございます。日本のグイダさんファンもすごい多いと思うので、ぜひ日本のファンにメッセージをもらいたいです、最後に。
Absolutely. First, Takaya, thank you so much from my family, our team, our fans, our coaches, for all the amazing fights that you put on. From Uriah Faber, from our gym, we're all enormous fans of yours and of your gym and all the incredible performances that you put on. So thank you for me. And then to Japan and Asia, arigato. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Once again, from myself, my team, my family, my coaches, and the best is yet to come. I cannot wait to compete Saturday night and then much more after that. So once again, guys, thank you and arigato.